And we're back. And you also notice the UI has changed back to the more, like, you see it, the UI is now back to the more inside an armor frame that it was from the beginning. There's no, like, the dangly little wires and the JFC logo. But yeah. So yeah, we'll do this. I got 15 minutes. So we'll see. And the pilots. Sure enough, Dalton has attached the fixture onto the right-hand side of the seat currently occupied by Hanson. You stash the PST and file the chief gave you at the rear of the cockpit. Once you're at your hands, you pull on your helmet, fasten your suit's final seals, and strap yourself to the passenger seat. Yeah, as we did, we fucking bolted. Like, we were not dealing with Vanessa. We were like, you know, goodbye. No boat. It's like in, you know, Cinderella. Was it Cinderella 2 or Cinderella 3? I don't know if there's a third one or not. Anyway, the prince tries to help. No, it wasn't Cinderella. It was Little Mermaid. I think. Was it Little Mermaid or was it Cinderella? Anyway, yeah, it was Cinderella, I think. Anyway, he had Prince Charming leaps out the window. He's like, his father like stops him, wants to like talk, and he's like, I have something to do, and he bolts out the window. That's great. Into the cockpit. You'd be too crocodile of getting away from Vanessa knows how you're actually paying attention to the ensign. You see that his chest is rapidly rising and falling with every breath. Once you do it with Buckles, you look across Hanson, who you realize has the single thing because you enter the cockpit. Yeah, he's probably having more flashbacks too, especially where he was for 13 fucking hours. On top of that, his hands both grasp the flight stick, squeeze them like tightly, and release them. The motion repeats over and over. Despite the fact you're looking right at him, he hasn't noticed you. Instead, is focusing purely on the monitor in front of him. Oh hey, Ensign Price. Are you okay? There's a slight delay, but after a second round, Hanson releases his grip on the flight sticks and returns to basic. His expression he just suddenly had suddenly replaced by his normal confidence. Yeah, his fucking dick face. What? I'm just asking if you were okay. Of course I'm okay. What are you talking about? We're not all cowards like you who can't even launch an AM. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly as you look away. We weren't sure what you've been expecting, but at least Hanson seemed to be like his normal self. Thankfully, any fallout from him cut off by Vanessa's face appearing on the comm screen and her voice on the frame speakers. Gun Dog, this is Lieutenant Lord. It's 16:30 Jovian Standard, and the mission has begun. Please confirm you're ready for launch. I have no idea why I said it like that. Copy that, Lieutenant Lord. This is Ensign Voice. On Gun Dog 1, all systems ready to launch and ready for authorization. Understood. Authority granted standby whilst you're transported for takeoff. Although the Junus monitors haven't turned on yet, you can tell what the reverberation is feeling coming from it being lowered from the hangar out the underside of the ship. Activating all systems. Now. Almost monitors come to life, illuminating you and Hanson with their goal. Why is she doing it? Why isn't it Dalton? Gun Dog 1, ready. Gun Dog 1, releasing restraints. Just gonna keep going. No, okay. Gun Dog 1, launching. Once armor frame is free of its restraints, Hanson slams the flight sticks forward in unison, sending the Juno hurtling away from the Gun Dog and causing it to shake with the acceleration. That's what it should have happened. But we didn't get that. Our restraints did not come off. As the cockpit shutters, you unconsciously grab onto the straps, keeping you in the passenger seat and squeeze them tightly. But the frame continuing to accelerate, you do your best to keep a neutral expression, but despite this, Hanson looks across you and knows your grim appearance. What's the matter, Lieutenant? Feeling flight sick already? No, I'm fine. You lie. Sure. Just sit back and watch how a real pilot handles an AF. Though you thought Hanson had launched at maximum thrust, he somehow managed to find an extra burst of acceleration, caused the cockpit shake further, doing nothing to help the nausea you feel. If you throw up, ma'am, your helmet stays on. Eventually, Hanson eases up on acceleration and the juddering stops. Though you're still slightly nauseous, you slowly begin to feel less like the little food you've had for today will be reappearing inside your helmet. Juno continues to cruise forward. You and Hansen both sit in the near silence of the cockpit. There are no real indication of distance between you and the O'Brien, or the speed you're traveling is difficult for you to keep track of time, and the journey drags on. It's 300 kilometers. There's no way for you to be exact, but it feels like at least half an hour has passed, neither of you saying anything. Actually, the depressing silence, copied with your increasingly desperate desire for a distraction, forced you to think about something you'd never thought you'd do. Willingly start a conversation with Hansen. We're talking about Haru. What about Haru? How long have you known Haru? What are you asking? I'm just asking how long you've known Haru. Why? Are you into them? No, not like you. What? No, I was only... Oh man, I can't believe you're into Haru. They're gonna love this. No. We're into Cassie. I'm not into Haru. Does Quinn know? Ensign? Oh man, maybe she does. Maybe that's why you're asking. Damn, no wonder you're asking. I knew you were both freaks. Just shut up, Ensign Royce. Asked about the gun dog, so, start before trailing off quickly as Hansen doesn't acknowledge you at all. How long have you been on the gun dog? Hansen gives you the briefest flicker of acknowledgement, but doesn't even take his eyes off the main monitor. What? Just ask him how long you've been stationed on the gun dog. Why? Well, seconds in the conversation is already one you're beginning to regret. I just, I thought I'd ask. I heard people talking about your piloting, and yeah, well, people can say whatever they like about my piloting. It doesn't make a difference because I've been stuck on this joke of a ship for a year. Not that it matters. Every other pilot in JCF is doing nothing but kills right now, so who cares where I am? After a couple sentences hang clear between the two of you as you mentally scramble for a response. So what are you doing on the ship anyway? How'd you screw up? First instinct is to fire back that you aren't screw up like him, but you know you can't admit the captain had your transfer put through as a favor without risking it getting back to Vanessa. I didn't screw anything up, I just got transferred here at short notice to fill the role, that's all. Whatever, man. You don't get dumped on the gun dog unless you're screwed up. Or unless you're screwed up or are defective, so what was it? Neither. Yeah, sure. Okay. I always press back now because I had that bug where it fucking skipped around and saved where I didn't want it to. Let me save it here. Save it here. Wait, this seems like a decision. Whether we talk to him or not. As two of you continue to fit the songs, you watch Hansen make occasional minute adjustments to the flight path of the Juno. You realize something. When you read the report in Captain's quarters, you've been shocked, hit by that punch of realization. What happened to you on the battle above Lunar could all be traced back to one woman. Maris Bartholomew. I keep wanting to call her Bartholomew still. Your captain. Except it wasn't you that did in there that day. You weren't the only one who was on board the ship that had been affected by our actions. Hansen had fought for his life as a polite flight was wiped out around him, and he had arrived in the combat zone for over 12 hours. What had happened to Hansen? What had he blamed you for? It hadn't been your fault. Now finally you knew whose fault it was. The realization hung over you as you grappled with the situation. It's not like you were only closer to dealing with this information. Was there any way that knowing could bring you closure? Couldn't bring back polite flight, or any of the other pilots or crew of the ships that had been lost. But still, what if someone had known? Would you have wanted them to tell you? Would telling Hansen do any good? Would it do any for him? These thoughts almost overwhelmed me as you tried to wrestle what you should do until suddenly you just blurted. When I was in the captain's quarters, I found a report. What? Take a deep breath. You start it now, and there's no going back. When I was in the captain's quarters looking for codes to activate the gun dog, I found a report in the captain's desk. Yeah, okay, why are you telling me this? It was about the battle above Lunar 4 years ago. As soon as you mention the battle, you hear Hansen take a sharp intake of breath, and his flight sticks creak as he squeezes both of them, and instantly his whole body goes rigid. It was about the reason the enemy was able to flank us, why they've been able to break through the E-field. He had to rush the ship into a grimace, but he still doesn't say anything. It was because of Captain Bartholomew. She was the Rear Admiral Bartholomew back then. She made an order to pull the ships away from the rear defensive line. It left us open, that's why. Why the hell are you telling me this? So yeah, I was suspicious last thing I expected the control panel to his left side. Because it was her. She's the reason why we had to deal with what we dealt with. She's responsible. Who cares? What difference does it make? It's the whole time it was. I know what this is. It's just you're trying to worm your way out of your responsibility. What? No, it wasn't my fault. It was. Shut up. Don't try and get out of this. Doesn't matter why it happened. You weren't there. You weren't there when we needed you. You were... It wasn't my fault. Just shut up. This time, Hansen's fist connects with the side of the seat that you mounted to, making the whole thing shudder and activate the shock absorbers. With that, the two of you fall back in uneasy silence. This time, though, you have no desire to kindle any conversation, instead allowing the silence to stretch on for the remaining duration of the journey. With no other sounds beyond that most imperceptible background noise of the cockpit that Juno's monitor showing nothing but stars, your mind drifts bouncing from thought to thought. Warmth of the cockpit and the gentle vibrations caused by the shuddering of the Juno's engines cause your thoughts to idle and slow, eventually without realizing you begin to drift off to sleep. You're almost completely gone when you and Hansen sit upright and fix your attention on the main monitor. Although there's nothing to see beyond the stars of the visual indicator, you know that this means that O'Brien is close by. Yeah, because for some reason we can't see it. We're here. As the motion suddenly begins to flick switches the control panel onto his side. You watch silently as he works his pedals and flight sticks to reduce the Juno's speed. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock onto the objective. I repeat, this Gundog, we've got target lock onto the objective. Yeah, we can't get in to talk to them because we don't have long-range communications. Hansen scowls at the communication screen, confirms nothing but static, and occasionally has picked up any incoming signal. Quickly resets the switches on the control panel before activating them again. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. Do you read? Piece of junk. Split strikes the panel underneath the main monitor, causing it to flicker momentarily, but doing nothing to help attain a signal. Brian's now visible on the screen. Remain silent as Hansen continues to activate and reactivate the Juno's transmission systems. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. I repeat, Gundog 1. It's Gundog 1. We've got target lock. God damn it, Lord. Where the hell are you? Hello? Hello? This time, Hansen's fist strikes the main monitor. Thankfully for both of you, the reinforced glass of the screen remains undamaged. Though as far away from Hansen as his friends your temporary seat will allow, you always knew he was hot-headed, but this would make it any easier to deal with. Oh, excuse me. Try to calm him down. Hansen continues to attempt to stab and con it with a Gundog. Each time he does, his efforts are met with the same familiar static. Come on, what's wrong with this piece of crap? Gundog? Come in. Arg. Hey, come on, take it easy. Tell him holding both your hands up, palms forward in a placating gesture. Don't you tell me what to do in my frame at night. So snaps back, tending to split switches, occasionally strikes the controls. And then that's not going to do any good. Yeah, what do you know? Can barely contain the long disaster sigh you feel building inside of you, but you manage not to express it, knowing it will just set Hansen off more. Instead, you tell him what you remember the Chief telling you earlier. Before this all started, the Chief said she was having problems with the long-range communication system. It was causing issues with our transmissions to the O'Brien as well as the targeting system. It's probably not fixed yet, might have even been made worse when that power went out. So what, we're out here with no mission control? Pause, crossing your arms and shrugging. I guess so. And this Hansen will probably take this moment to fucking murder us. That's how this is. Yeah, of course. Can't expect anything to go to plan when that ship's involved. This is Gundog 1. In case anyone out there can actually hear us, we're approaching the GFS O'Brien. We're carrying out this visual inspection of the O'Brien now. It's green. It's got yellow stripes. The O'Brien not close enough for you to actually make out its finer details. Hansen decelerates the frame, bringing it to nearly a complete stop. Deftly adjusting the Juno's orientation, he then begins to circle the Swift-class ship, and the two of you focus on the monitor, trying to identify anything out of the ordinary on the O'Brien before you get closer. Wait a second, is that... You point to the O'Brien's main airlock, and Hansen quickly sets the camera to zoom in on it. Wide open, looks like someone tried the same stunt as you. No, that's not it. I closed the secondary airlock door behind me. Both of these are open, which means the ship must have been completely depressurized. Yeah. Yeah, now we know what we're going into. Yeah, if this happened when the power was off, none of the emergency bulkheads would have been able to close. The two of you sit in silence while considering what you just found out. The same thing had happened to the Brian as the gun dog, and someone had opened both the airlocks, then what little breathable air was left on the ship would have been sucked out into space. We've still got a mission to do. Come on. You nod silently in agreement as Hansen, apparently sobered by that realization, moves the armored frame around towards the airlock. This isn't necessarily the end, you think. If some of the crew were lucky, they might have been able to get their spacesuits on before they ran out of air. They're running low on oxygen by now, but... This is Gundog 1, docking with Orion. Now, only meters away from the other ship, Hansen brings the Juno to a complete stop with a surprising amount of delicacy as it reaches out with one arm, grabbing hold of a protrusion from the ship and anchoring itself. Alright, let's go. In a well-practiced motion, Hansen releases himself from the seat's harness, moving forwards and grabbing the lever to open the cockpit's hatch. As soon as it's open, you feel the rush of the cockpit's air escaping. Meanwhile, Hansen pulls himself out and steps out into the airlock. Having a slightly harder time with the straps on your harness, it takes you a few moments longer to release yourself. Once free, you gather up the PST and the instructions the Chief has given you before making your way out of the Juno. Two of you attentively make your way from the airlock itself to the room beyond. Yeah, but with the airlock open, you kind of think someone might have, you know, either gave up and decided to just kill everyone fast, or it was deliberately sabotage. Yeah, the Friends of Bear Rescue just posted some pictures of zucchini stir and chicken stir. Back in the autumn, she rescued a litter of kittens from Carl's Jr. drive-through. They were hanging around and, you know, dangerous and whatnot. And she got kittens and had to socialize them for a bit. And one of them, Chicken Star, like, fucking did not want anything to do with her. She was, like, acted like she was completely disgusted the whole time. And, yeah, so... she's now doing better. She's been adopted. Her and her sister got adopted. There was Carl Jr., Monster Biscuit, Black Angus, Zucchini Star, and Chicken Star. I think that was the 5 of them. And it was strange that Monster Biscuit got adopted last. It's like, Chicken Star are the one that fucking hated people. But she'd like, Haley, the one who runs Friends of Bear, would go into, like, socialize with them, and Chicken Star would just look at her like, what the fuck do you want? Like, with this disgust. Two of you tentatively make your way to the airlock itself through the room beyond. Although nothing is obviously broken or wrong, the fact that you're standing in an area identical to the one on the Gundog but open to space and completely uninhabitable sends a shiver down your spine. Hansen. What kind of fucking expression is that, bucko? You look a little too smug for this situation. Are you talking in Morse code now, too? You look at Hansen and see it's mouthing something that you can't hear. You continue to stand there in confusion as Hansen wordlessly gestures at you two until he looks exasperated. It takes you a moment to realize what's going on and reach up to the radio on your chest belt, flicking the switch that activates it. Oh, we know he's pissed. Look at that fucking little icon with him. Look how fucking smug he looks still. It's about time you figured that out, ma'am. Hansen's voice crackles in your helmet speaker. Like the Juno, where the cockpit is pressurized so you could hear each other, now feel yourself standing in a complete vacuum where no sound can travel. So, what's the plan? I turned to survey the empty void of the airlock. The first priority given by the captain was assisting the crew of the O'Brien to get their ship back in line, but judging by the current state of things, you weren't sure you'd have much luck with that. The plan. Say to yourself more than to Hansen, as though you go over the current situation in your mind. That's right, Lieutenant, the plan. Right now you've got rank, so without Lord screeching down your comms line, this is on you. Unless you're after a trip down memory lane and want to sit in the Juno's cockpit whilst I do everything. It makes a shame and anger wells up with you as you bite your tongue to not snap at Hansen with the first thing that comes to mind. Stow it, Hansen. Despite the way he said it, he wasn't wrong. With nothing coming from the Gundog, you are now the highest ranking officer involved in this mission. Alright, the first priority was to assist the crew. That doesn't look like anyone's going to be in this part of the ship, but we still need to try. Since we've used the PSD before, it's going to be easier for me to carry out the search. Whilst I'm doing that, you can start removing the ship's black box. Hold up the manila folder the Chief had given you on the gun dog, and Hansen takes it from you, clumsily flicking through it with his gloved hands. It's on the bridge, huh? How are we going to get up there? Same way I did on the gun dog, come on. Turn around and head the ship, eventually arriving at the central hub. Okay, Lieutenant, now what? As you walk past Hansen to where the mainframe, to where the maintenance hatch is located, next to the elevators, you take the opportunity to quickly switch your radio off, telling Hansen exactly what he can do next and switch it back on. Tell exactly what he can do next and switch it back on. What's next, Hansen, is this. You run your fingers down the seam between the panel and the wall and quickly find the catch. Unlike the one on the bridge, you're able to fit your suit's fingers in this one and you quickly release it. As the hatch comes away in your hand, you wait to feel the sensation of air rushing in from the crawl away. Unfortunately, you feel nothing, confirming one of the fears that you had about the ship and her crew. Placing the hatch down, you turn to Hansen, say nothing about your discovery, and instead gesture to the ladder. Top of the ladder, you'll find another panel like this one that leads into the bridge. To release it, all you need to do is push on the catch from the inside. Think you can handle that? We pry it off with a card, though. What do you think, Lieutenant? We're not dealing with some dumb security officer here or anything. Just let a pilot show you how it's done. With a swagger that's only exaggerated with the block of the suit, Hansen strides past you, steps into the access tunnel, and heads up the ladder. Take the opportunity to turn your radio off again and tell him what you really think about pilots. Once you're done, you switch it back on in case he sends any transmissions. Now that you've set him to work, it's up to you to try and find the survivors of the Ryan's crew and use their help to get the ship back online. Look around the empty central hub. The same silence that previously filled the gun dog now fills your helmet. After a moment of contemplation, head towards the first place you think would be fruitful to explore. Okay, we don't have anything. He took the folder. Mitch Battery Pack Computer uses maintenance and bugging the ship's systems. Battery should be enough to power the doors I need to open. Electroshock weapon and non-lethal rounds deliver 50,000 volts to targets, tended to use against the crew in case of violence that can't be de-escalated. Still have to go back and actually load a save and shoot Hansen, though. Oh, man. Oh, these are out of action just like when the gun dog's power was off. It means the only way to bridge the sick bay is through the maintenance crawlway. God, look at it go. You go your entire crew, never seen inside of one of these things, and suddenly spend your entire day climbing up and down them. The panel is still attached though, which means no one's come down from the bridge. Not this way, at least. I don't see anyone up that way, then again, this whole area is depressurized. If any systems are functional, I'll be able to feel tremors or vibrations coming from that way. I can't feel anything. Yeah. Why didn't we go, I'm gonna save so many save slots. Yeah, why didn't we, go up with him? We should have gone up with him, because, I'm gonna go up the bridge. As you make your way up the ladder towards the bridge, you find your progress slowed by the block in your spacesuit as it catches against various protrusions that stand up from the wall of the shaft. Despite having stopped multiple times, you free yourself from these obstacles, you clearly see the faint outline of the entrance to the bridge above you. Clearly remaining distance without incident, you step out from the hatch and onto the bridge. Yeah, that's what we figured, everyone was dead. Feeling apprehension of the maintenance crawlway, you hadn't been able to get the lock of any signs of depressurization out of your head. You knew that was probably waiting for you unless the crew had been extremely lucky. Unfortunately, it looked like they had not. A station on the left, you see the slump figures of a young man. From his uniform general appearance, you recognize him as Lieutenant Bashir, officer that Cassie had been speaking to moments before the power went out on the gun dog. The one who fucking hit on her. Poor Julian! Dealt with all that fucking wormhole business and the, you know, the war and the fucking founders and all that shit, and now you're kind of fucking died by depressurization. I liked when he appeared on one of the gun dog's view screens as the man you saw Now it clearly suffered what looked like either a small explosion or a massive electrical shock. Front of his uniform was at its best singed and at worst completely charred, as if his skin, as were the skin of his hands and face. You grimace at the thought of what could have happened as you turn your attention to the captain's chair. There, slouching to the right of the ship, was Captain rictus smile on his face, having seen what suffered a similar fate. It seems pretty obvious what happened to these two, but the question remained, how? Pause for a moment. You almost put your hand down on the headrest of the captain's chair, and you quickly moved away, as if something had electrocuted to these two then. Pretty grim, right? Why did he play that? We knew he was going to be here. We just sent him here. We just went up after him. Almost fell backwards in surprise. A handsome voice sounded suddenly over your helmet speakers. Here's the far side of the bridge, having emerged from underneath the control station on the right. Easy, Lieutenant. It's just me. What? I've never seen what a fried human looks like. Take a deep breath and exhale, catching your breath that Hansen had just scared out of you. We could fry you, we could fucking go back and play through the beginning and shock you with 50,000 volts, bucko. Dan, voice, what the hell were you doing hiding underneath there? Following orders, man. Remember the plan? Yeah, get the fucking black box. Hansen waves the folder you passed on to him at you. Wait, these guys look like they've been electrocuted. Based on where they are, you check. Look, loosen up, Lieutenant. Power's not on. What's there to check for? Can't help but amazed at Hansen's cavalier attitude towards the risk of painful death by electrocution. Alright, who's retrieving the black box? How's retrieving the black box going? Not bad. I managed to get most of the casing undone, but there's a lot going on here and there, and the suit doesn't make it easy. What about you? Find anyone? Turn to look at Captain Lieutenant Bashir for a moment before looking back at Hansen. Just these two so far. I've not confirmed anyone else. Guess that makes things simple. No survivors. We get this box and we get out of here. What, you want to hang around here a bit longer? This was a whole crew, Hansen. Some might still be alive. Guess you better get looking and find them, huh, Lieutenant? Ease up, Lieutenant. You say that from experience. If everyone's dead, there's no use wishing they weren't. It's not going to bring them back. But if we're going to find them, you should get moving. Probably not much air left anywhere on the ship, even if you're lucky. Yeah, I came up here because we need the crew's security passes to get anywheres anyway. With another shrug, Hansen walks away from you, heading back to the control station he was heading under when you entered. Let me know when we're leaving, though, alright, Lieutenant? I could just leave him here. That seems like the best thing. I'll just say he got electrocuted, too. Overlook here the bridge. Anything that may have helped you solve that happened on board. The Brian gave Cutler a view of the space through the main window. You don't have to say it was put by the ship. You just say, we just say electrocuted, be vague, even though we shoot him with the electric shock. One of those lights was the gun dog, the sole reassuring thought you had the entire time you've been here. But what else was out there? What had happened that didn't look like an attack you'd ever seen, but what could possibly happen to the O'Brien to cause all this? Looking out into space won't help you figure this out. On the left-hand side of the bridge, you see the station used by the ship management communication. You knew that this is where Lieutenant Bashir would have been when Cassie spoke to him minutes before the blackout. Like the rest of the bridge, you can see that every system was offline, nothing more than the rows of dead screens and useless plastic and metal. Mindful of not disturbing the Lieutenant's body, you examined the area to see if you could tell what was caused by his current condition. With no signs of damage, you ruled an explosion or catastrophic malfunction, leaving you to assume that he must have somehow received a massive electrical shock. What could have possibly caused something like that? On the right-hand side of the bridge, you see the station used by the control of the ship. Unlike Lieutenant Bashir's station, it didn't look like anything was there when whatever had gone on here happened. Instead, you see Hansen underneath it. You hear occasional mutter and grumble over your radio as he struggles to remove the parts needed to allow access to O'Brien's black box. Better just leave him to it. Circle the captain's chair, looking for anything that could tell you what had gone on when you lost contact. Instead, all you see is the stiff body of that ship's captain slumped to the side with his hands tightly around the armrests. As you get close to him, you see the signs of whatever happened to Lieutenant Bashir had happened to him. Burns cover where his skin rests on the metal of the chair, and the back of his uniform shows scorch marks. Take a look at his name tag before stepping back. Rest in peace, Captain Gerard. Yeah, we gotta get the fucking ID tag so we can go use the... Although you made it this far, you knew in order to have a chance exploring the O'Brien further, let alone accessing a central computer. You need a keycard that belonged to one of its crew. There is no better card to accomplish this than the captain's. As you walk around in front of the captain's chair, you shudder. The shock that must have killed him had left his hands clasped in the armrests like talons. His face is gaunt and his eyes open wide. Together with hell, the corners of your mouth had drawn back as far as they would go into the horrendous grin. The whole expression was unnerving, as if he'd been killed by some fatal but hilarious joke. You knew what you needed to do, and although it's practically necessary, something about it feels wrong. Sorry about this, Captain Gerard. You pat the captain down, but to find no indication of that he's carrying his keycard in his pockets. As you stand back from it, trying to think if it's somewhere where he might have left it, your eyes are drawn to the hand, tightly clenching the arm rest which doubles as a control panel. Remember having seen Captain Bartholomew insert her keycard in the equivalent panel on the gun dog on occasion to unlock certain functions. A grim wave of realization hits you as you think about it. If the card wasn't on the captain control panel, the most likely place it would be. The only issue with the Captain Gerard's death grip was covering the slot for the keycard. With a knot in your stomach, you lay your hand on the captain's. Shiver runs down your spine. You're just starting to squeeze your fingers underneath his palm and start pulling. You look down, you notice the gleam of the starlight reflecting off a piece of plastic at the captain's foot. With a huge sigh of relief, you kneel down and take the card from the floor. Lucky for you, the captain must have dropped it just before he was shocked. As you pass the card from one hand to another, expecting the front and back, you see that it appears to have all but melted. Plastic coating is mostly stripped away, and what remains is bubbled up and the remnants of the magnetic strip flaking off. You can tell from description that it's not getting you anywhere. Sides later remains a card by the captain's hand. If I can't find the card with access to the control computer, there's no hope for the O'Brien. Bashir's is probably the same. You knew what you needed to find a key card belonging to a member of the O'Brien's crew to explore the ship further. Ideally, this card would have belonged to either the captain or someone from operations and would give you access to the central computer. The captain's card had been fried beyond usability by whatever happened, but Lieutenant Bashir's card had been more lucky. Grin gingerly moving the lieutenant's hand and doing your best to, as gently as possible, pat down his left hand trouser pocket. Feeling nothing, though, through the thick gloves of your spacesuit, you head to the other side of his chair before repeating the same action on his right pocket. This time you feel something. With a sense of unease, you attempt to remove the contents of his pocket while trying not to disturb the body too much. Eventually, but with some difficulty caused by the contents of your spacesuit, you desire not to disturb Bashir's body any more than you need to. You manage to pull what feels like could be his key card. Yeah, same fucking condition. Turn the card over a few times, definitely the lieutenant's key card, but it looks like it's been half melted. Not only is it warped out of shape, but the plastic coating is blistered, with the magnetic strip on the back almost entirely peeled off. You can tell from the description that it's totally useless. You wouldn't even be able to fit it into any card reader or terminal if the surfaces hadn't or terminal even if the surface hadn't been ruined. Great, looks like this won't get me anywhere. It's like the captain's. Hopefully I can find a second command, otherwise there'll be nothing we can do for the O'Brien. Talk to Coyce. Look towards Hanson reminds mostly of the site hidden by the bulk of the workstation. Spend a few seconds thinking about asking him if he needs any help or asking if things are going after considering the likely response you get from these questions you decide against it. Probably better leave him be. Like how we say that out loud. Okay. Having made your way back to maintenance crawlway, you work your way down the darkness. The dull starlight, the airlock that illuminates the central hub, barely illuminating the exit below you. As you continue towards the pause in the radio hisses in the light. Hello, Hanson? Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundam. Cassie, what are you doing on this? We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. Cassie, what are you? I read you. That's a sweet voice you've got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting the coordinates and mission update files now. That's good to finally... What? This is from when? Roger that, JFS Gundog. This is Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS O'Brien. We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. I read you. That's a sweet voice you've got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting coordinates and mission update files now. It's good to finally... The snippet of conversation with Cassie and Lieutenant Bashir looks a few times until eventually fading to static. With as little explanation why the transmission started, it ends. What could be transmitting that recording? Probably the black box. There's no one here right now. Well, you know, we could talk to, we could call out. What do we have? Okay, March 1st. Anyway, I gotta go get him this pill. Can't get to the sick bay because that's down. You change that makes crawl and grab a rung of the ladder. Stepping forward, you place your feet on the rung you rarely see, and then instead of falling hands up, you start moving downward. As you descend, crawl away, eventually it becomes completely dark. The only indication that you've given that you've reached the bottom is when you hang your foot down and unexpectedly stop on a floor panel. Now at the bottom of the shaft, you grope around the darkness looking for the catch that released the panel by the elevator into the sick bay. After a few minutes of sliding your palms around and blindly, the suit's glove catches on something. Investigate with your finger to confirm what you're looking for before releasing it. Grab the panel as it falls away and placing it on the slide as you step into the sick bay. Rush air to indicate where you pressurize the room. You're almost entirely certain you knew what to expect, but what you find goes beyond that. On the desk set to meet those who enter the sick bay, you see the crumpled form of someone wearing a white coat, much like Dr. Rosarium's. Quickly make your way over to them, but as soon as you stop momentarily, you feel something crunching underneath your boots. This screenshot's from, I think, the Steam page. Looking around, you see that the doctor's surrounded by broken glass. Taking stock of the room, you realize that the cabinets at the far right end of the sick bay are all still locked, but the glass panels have been shattered and their contents scattered. Instead of trying to puzzle what's happening, you turn your attention back to the doctor, kneeling down to them and gently turning them over. Faced with a woman who seems to be in her mid-50s, her sandy hair done up in a loose bun with iron strands tucked behind her ears. You notice that the two lenses that enter around wire-frame spectacles, one is cracked in the frame instead of skewed on her face. Although her pale blue eyes are wide open and staring at you, you don't move, and she does not blink. Her skin is pale, matching the cool blue of her eyes, the striking red of her lipstick standing out in dramatic contrast. Yeah. I mentioned that a lot of the characters have blue eyes like the palettes because of the limited, PC 98. And stay holding the doctor for a moment before gently laying her down. And with as much delicacy as you can manage, use in your bulky space that you close your eyes. As you stand up, you exhale deeply. Like the crow on the bridge, doctor didn't appear to have suffered from any burns or shocks. If you had to guess, it seemed that something had struck her, although you had no idea whether it was that or the lack of atmosphere that had been responsible for her death. That's 3 confirmed loss, then. You muttered to yourself, stepping away from the doctor, more glass crunching under your soles. Incredibly likely this was how things would be the rest of the ship, especially considering the central area had been depressurized with no safety measures engaged. You'd been holding out hope that at least some of the crew had made it out, but based on what you've seen on the bridge and here, though, that didn't seem likely. As you survey the room, you turn your attention back to the glass underfoot and the shattered frontage of the cabinets. Cabinets is a word I can't spell when I'm sleepy. And that's why I haven't been playing the Crimson Diamond since, this fall, the autumn, because my time to play is late at night, and where it's a text-based game, I have to enter things. Even though I can use, codes for, C and whatnot. I can't spell with shit, and I fucking can't do it. So that's why I haven't been playing. What happened here? As you head towards the back room, examine the cabinet, you feel crunchy glass under your feet. Although the floor is crowded with various boxes, balls, different medications, something particular that catches your eye. Squat down, pick up an empty packet you recognize, NutriShake Mix. Shit Mix. As you turn the pouch over your hand, you look inside and find it's completely empty of the powder that it should contain. Placing it back on the floor, you look around and realize that, whilst all the boxes of medication are still sealed, the packets you can see torn open are all NutriShake packets. Did someone really do all this for NutriShakes? There's no one here right now, no point in opening that door. All vacant. Could whoever have done this been in for treatment? Can't look at the doctor's date. Okay, we can. The ship's doctor. I didn't see any obvious wounds of the ship crew. Exactly what happened down here. I gotta look, I gotta use her body, you know, look. Because I gotta try to find a fucking key card. Channel the doctor for what we need to do, but not finding the concept altogether pleasant. Reg Crew's cards have been half melted. If Doctor was in the same condition, need to hope we could find at least someone whose card he could use. Sorry about this, Doctor. Find inside you, pat the doctor down like Dr. Rosaire, who wears his on a lanyard around his neck. You don't see this doctor's key card anywhere. Although the thickness of your spacesuit does make it the task difficult, you do your best to respect it. Eventually you reach the doctor's waist and feel the protrusion from her side. Opening her white coat, you see an internal pocket, and after a moment spent trying to fit your gloved hands aside, you manage to grab a hold of something and pull it out. You got the doctor's key card. Like the Bridges crew, this card is in perfect condition. Stand up and read the name on the back of the card. Dr. Esri DeBoer. Yeah, we got Esri, you know, like Esri Dax. And we got Bashir. Now me, I didn't care for, you know, the Esri Dax Bashir ship. Like, I didn't care much for Esri, not that I didn't like, you know, I didn't like how she was, like, empathized by a lot of the plot. It wasn't I didn't like the character, it's more I didn't like her treatment. But yeah, I'm, you know, the more, Garrett Bashir type. But yeah, so we got Dr. Esri and Dr. Bashir. The class approach on the side of her suit, deposit the card, and then close it up again. The doctor won't have the clearance to let me access the central computer, but it may be this let me find someone who does. Thank you for your help, Dr. DeBoer. I'm just sorry we couldn't get here sooner. You walk up to one of the cabinets with a broken glass frontage and pull on his hand. As you swipe, the still lock doesn't budge. Looking down at your feet amongst the various packets of medication, it appears to have all been hastily put down at the cabinet. You see it's like shaped packets, all torn open. Picking at one, you check its contents, find it's completely empty. Could really have no nutritional supplements. Key card belonging to Dr. Esri DeBoer. It should give me enough access to the room so that O'Brien to get what I need. Yeah, we didn't pick up the thing then. Does it let me try to fast travel? No, out of order. Ask map function disabled. Please contact your system administrator. Find survivors. Find keycard. Obtain access code. Find the first officer. Is there anything new to the info? Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna stop right now. And then I will pick it up hopefully tomorrow. Because I am extremely tired. And I gotta give him his pill. And I gotta get the fuck to bed so I can get up and go to the library. I did the litter boxes, I did the food for them, and I just gotta get a hot water bottle to put on to hopefully help with the spasms. And the water bowls. And I think get a drink too for myself. But yeah, I have to do quite a bit more, so we're not doing that right now. Because I don't think I can talk to anyone.